What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing a foundation collection. I know you guys have been really wanting to see my makeup collection, so I thought I'd break it up into sections just to make the videos a little bit shorter, because if I were to do a video over my whole collection, it would be pretty long. So I thought I would do just a video for each section of my collection. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be doing my top 4 foundations that I reach for on a daily basis. The first brand we're going to start with is Milani. I have 2 foundations from Milani. I have the Screen Queen and the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I don't really remember much about this foundation, so I'm going to give it another shot sometime soon. And then I also have this Conceal and Perfect. This is a really good solid matte foundation, super full coverage, and it's very prone to being cakey, but if you use it in the right amount, it can look very beautiful. Next brand is Tarte. I have the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. This was actually discontinued after the controversy that came around this foundation. It was a piss poor shade range, but I think the formula is really good, so that's why I still have it. It's one of those foundations that I go to when I'm looking for something that I just know will look good. Like, it's just a solid foundation in my opinion. This is the one that actually replaced that launch. This launch was the Face Tape Foundation, and it's not worth your money. Next, I have the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, and I kind of feel similar to this one as I do the Face Tape. It's just not worth it. In order for me to make this foundation work, I had to like mix an oil in with it, or like a moisturizer, and that's just too much to do. Honestly, it's just not worth it. But the packaging is so cute. Next, I have Profusion, and I just have this one foundation. This is the only foundation that they have, and this was not it for me, you guys. A lot of people really enjoyed this when they tried it, and I have extremely dry skin, and it just seemed that like this just clung to all my patches, looked super cakey, and it just was no bueno. Next, I have NYX, and I have this Bare With Me skin tint, and this was cakey with no coverage, so it gave me all the negative things that come with a foundation with none of the positive things that come with a foundation. So like, it looked like I was wearing a lot of makeup, but the makeup wasn't doing anything. Next is the Born to Glow, and I feel like I really, upon first impression, I really didn't like this, but I feel like if I work with it, figure out what it works well with, what primers, what products it works well with, I think I can make this work. I do need to give it more time to see like my final opinions on it. Next, I have Makeup Revolution, and I have 2 foundations for Makeup Revolution. I have the stick foundation, and then I have the Conceal and Define matte version. They have a hydrating version out now, and I'm super excited. I really want to try that, you guys. I really want to try it. Y'all know hydrating things are my jam, so I really want to try that. But this was really matte. It's a solid matte foundation. If you have oily skin, you're gonna love it. But because I'm a dry skin girl, it can get weird on my skin. And honestly, I have no idea about the stick foundation. I totally forgot about it. I'm in the shade F3 in this one, and I have no idea how this wears. I totally don't remember at all. Next, I have Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. This wore terribly on my skin. It was awful. It broke apart. It looked gross. I should really get rid of this because it's taking up space and it's not good at all. Next, I have the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation by NARS. I know a lot of people rave about this foundation, and if you have any suggestions to make this foundation work better on my skin, then please let me know. But it transferred like crazy. Like, I would just touch my face and my fingers would have so much, like right now I can touch my face and like there's no foundation on my hands, like none. It just transferred so terribly. So let me know if there's any way that I can maybe not let it transfer as much. But I do want to give this another shot because I only tried it a couple of times and I was miserable trying it. So maybe with the way I do my makeup now, which is very different than the way I used to do it, it'll work a little better. Next up is Morphe. I have 2 from Morphe as well. I have the Hint Skin Tint and the Fluidity Foundation. This skin tint is, I don't know yet. I just haven't tried it out long enough. I don't have any final thoughts on it yet. And then this Fluidity foundation broke me out. I had like acne, like a flare up. It was terrible. And it just wears really, really cakey. The coverage on it's fabulous. When you apply it at first, it looks very nice. But as it wears, it's not it, you guys. It's really not it. Next, I have the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I remember this being super duper cakey on my face, but I used to apply my foundation so heavy-handed. I'm pretty sure any foundation would look cakey the way that I used to do my makeup. But I really want to try this with the new techniques that I use and see how this works out for me. Next is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Makeup. This is one of my absolute favorite foundations. It is beautiful, and I have two foundations that I run to whenever I have like a special occasion or something like that, and this is definitely one of those foundations. It looks so nice on the skin, so nice, and it wears beautifully. Next, I have the Lancome Skin Feels Good skin tint. This gave me everything I wanted this to give me. This fell short on it was just not good, but this, like, if they would have just copied Lancome's formula, it would have been amazing, but they didn't, and I absolutely love this. This is my favorite skin tint that I have, and I reach for it fairly often. Next, I have the Buxom Show Some Skin Weightless Foundation. I love these foundations. I have two shades because I love them, and they're also discontinued, but they are some of the most beautiful foundations I've ever worn. They are light to medium coverage, and they just wear throughout the day so amazing. And I use these very sparingly because they are discontinued, and these are some of my absolute favorite foundations. So if you guys know where I can still get these, let me know so I can wear this literally every day. Next, I have the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid, and I actually found this at Marshall's for $12. So if you want to get this liquid blur, don't get it off of Milk's website. Definitely go to your local TJ Maxx or Marshall's. They're actually selling a ton of Milk makeup over at those locations. And this was a very good matte foundation. Even on my dry skin, this looked beautiful. This is giving me everything that I wish this could give me. This is full coverage matte foundation, similar to this, but this works good on my dry skin, and I don't know why, but this is a fabulous formula, and I really like it. Next is the Juvia's Place foundation. I actually use this foundation as a mixer because on its own it's just way too much for me. It's too heavy, and it's too, like, it's like a mask. Like, I'm wearing an actual mask, and that's not what I usually go for. I like to go for something that will even out my skin tone, look flawless, but still look like skin. And this does not look like skin. This looks like drag makeup. Like, this is solid stuff, okay? And so I use this if I really want to, like, mix it with a BB cream or something like that, or mix it with a moisturizer. This is something that I'll reach for because it is just so much. Next, I have a oldie but a goodie, or actually I don't know if it's a goodie, I haven't tried it in so long. This is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. All I remember is this is super matte and it smells bad. That's literally all I remember about this foundation. Let me smell it. I don't know. Oh yeah, that stinks. Ew. It smells like chemicals. Yeah, so I don't remember how this wears. But I know it's like a cult favorite as well. This is one of like the OG foundations. Maybe I'll give it another shot sometime. Let me know if you guys would like a second chance series. I have a lot of these foundations that I've tried, but I want to give them a second chance. So let me know if you'd be into like a second chance situation. And then we have the Fenty Beauty foundation. This was just not the foundation for me. I really want to try the hydrating version of this foundation. But the matte version is not it for me. It doesn't sit well on my skin. It clings to my dry patches. This is for all you oily skin queens out there. The Hard Candy Glamouflage 16-Hour Wear Foundation. This is not it. Don't waste your money. Then I have the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation. You can actually now find these at TJ Maxx and Marshalls as well. I don't remember anything about this foundation. I remember using it a lot though, because I've used quite a bit of it. I can see that I've used quite a bit, but I don't remember. I don't. So this is definitely going to be something that I give a second chance to. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I love these foundations. They're matte, but they're really lightweight, and you don't need a lot of this foundation for it to cover up whatever you need covered. It's a really beautiful foundation, and I really enjoy these. Alrighty, so then we have our Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation in the shade Bisque. Now this foundation is coverage. It's just pure coverage. Like the tiniest dot. And you're gonna get full coverage. Like, do not underestimate this foundation. You do not need a lot. This is a foundation that I can mix in with a moisturizer and it's still full coverage. This is just coverage in a bottle, okay? Don't let it fool you. This is not to be played around with, and I love it. This is the Shameless foundation. This was actually one of my favorite foundations for a really long time. It is like more of a medium light coverage, and it's really nice, but it's just not even close to comparable to my Buxom. It's a nice solid foundation. It doesn't come with a lot of product, and for the price, I just don't know if this is worth it. Then I have the AOA Studio Perfect BB Cream. This is another mixer that I really love, and it also wears beautiful on its own. This is the most comparable formula that I have ever seen to the Buxom Show Some Skin, and it's $1, so it's a really nice formula, and I think you guys would really enjoy it if you did decide to pick this up. Next are a couple of foundation sticks. I have this Ulta Hydrating Foundation Stick that I've never used, and I want to do a video comparing this with another foundation stick I have in my collection, so stay tuned. Next I have the Bare Minerals Foundation Stick. This was extremely disappointing. It wore terribly. Yeah, this is not it for me. Then I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation Stick. Now, I tried this out yesterday, and it looked beautiful. Like, this was so beautiful in my opinion. It looked so nice. It was so dewy, which this is kind of everything I look for in a foundation stick, something that's not cakey, not dry. And this delivered, so I'm excited. I haven't worn it for like a long period of time, but I'm super excited to continue trying this. I think you can also find these at TJ Maxx and Marshall. I have the Wet n Wild Matte Foundation. This is an okay foundation, not my favorite. Definitely not bad at all. Like, it wears for a super long time, and it was one of my all-time favorite foundations for quite a long time, and it's $5, so. Then I have the Wet n Wild Foundation Stick. Now this has to be my favorite foundation stick of all time. It is beautiful. I have the shade Ivory, and I absolutely love this thing. I get good use out of it, and when I really want a solid foundation stick, I reach for this. And then I also reach for Hourglass. Now, this foundation is not all hype. It's a very beautiful, and when I know that I'm doing something that's super special, I know this is gonna come through for me because it always looks beautiful. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of my collection, and I'm going to show you guys my top 4 foundations in my collection that I reach for on a day-to-day basis. So in 4th place comes the L'Oreal Pro Glow Foundation. This is a super dewy foundation that I absolutely love. I have super dry skin, so whenever I find super dewy hydrating foundations that don't just fall off your skin, like, super hydrating foundations are super prone to being like extra transfer-y, and this is not that. The only reason why this is 4th on the list is because this undertone in this foundation pulls a little gray on my skin, and I think if it wasn't for the color, it might go further up on the list. Next, I have in 3rd place, I have the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is a stunning foundation. It's somewhere between matte and dewy, and it wears for a really long time. It blends out super nice, and it has beautiful coverage, so this is a really good foundation. Next, I have the e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation. It is very comparable to the Fresh Wear foundation. I think I'm going to actually do a dupes video comparing these two foundations, because with my experience with the two, they are very, very similar. So let me know if you guys would like to see that. But this one's $15 and this one is $5. So I would definitely reach for this one before I'd reach for this one. So that's why it is second in the list. And my absolute all-time favorite foundation at the moment here in October of 2020 is the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation. These foundations have been my ride or die for a while now, kind of since they came out. They are $5. You can get them at Walmart, Target, and like anywhere. Everywhere carries Wet n Wild. Even the Dollar Tree. I don't think the Dollar Tree carries these, but they carry all kinds of Wet n Wild products. And these foundations, they just are dewy. They cling to no dry spots. They're uber liquidy, so you can put on a thin layer and get maximum coverage out of these. But they're also buildable. So if you have like a pimple to cover up, you can put like a small thin layer on top of the pimple, and then it looks beautiful. These foundations are really my go-tos. They smell kind of weird, but I can get over it for their super long wear, and they're just beautiful foundations, and I really, really love them. Alrighty, you guys, so that was my 2020 foundation collection. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for the rest of my makeup collection series. My lighting is all kind of messed up today. But look, if I hold up something white next to my face, like, it like levels out so you can really see my face. Okay, guys, so bye!